Why, hello there, beautiful people. This is a continuation of my back to school vlog. So yes, I got back in time for my physical classes. We had just 2 physical classes. I went out for drinks later with one of my colleagues. It was time to prepare for exams. The semester had already started since November, but we couldn't write our exams, so yeah. Back to exercising, I gotta keep myself fit. I have to try to eat healthy, so I try to put a lot of fruits and veggies into what I eat. Then I went to my friend's place. We went to Leeds City University together, tried to sell a few clothes. Came back to my hostel and found my way to the studio. This was the day I shot the man-to-man cover. After that, I went to get my lashes done. The next day was Sunday. I went to church. I followed my friend to this church I've never been to called the Standing Church, and it was quite good. And yeah, funny enough, that's the church I've been going to since I returned in January to Ibadan. I set a goal for myself. I said I have to post at least 2 singing videos each week. I made egusi. This is me. Very, very impressed with my cooking, and yeah. I should be proud. I have to raise my shoulders. Time for exams. This was the day of my first paper. Nobody really gets excited by exams, but yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad at all. I went back to my hostel and found out that they were doing like a hostel party because we don't really get to see and connect with ourselves since it's a master's and PhD hall. So this was like an opportunity to unwind and get to know ourselves better. We were put in group. We did some competitions, and trust and believe, my team won. See joy now. Don't play. And then it was time to party. Everybody was in high spirit. There was whining and dancing. And shortly after, I had to get back to my studies. This was the second day of exams. It was really good. That's why I'm smiling like that. The next day was church. You have to have Sunday rice, of course. And they said I have to leave my hostel for them to fumigate, even though I still had exams. So I had to find myself a hotel to lodge somewhere inside UI, so I don't be coming from far away. I could have stayed with a friend, but my friend's place is somehow far. I found myself in a restaurant. I had to find something to eat. The rice and beans slapped. Later that evening, I took a stroll because I'd never really seen that side of UI before. It's called Abadina. So I have to have a midnight snack. This is me burning the midnight candle to get the best grades, of course. And then this is the next day after exams. I went out to buy myself some fruits, came back to my room, and I know that, okay, I was already thinking I have to go back to my hostel the next day. I wasn't happy at all about that. But yeah, what can we do? Food, workout, music, exams. I had just 5 papers, and this was the day of my last paper. So excited. Later that day, my lecturer invited us for her mother's celebration of life. Her mother passed at 102 years old. So some of us from my program, we gathered and went to show her some love. Some people sprayed her money, and she was really hospitable to us. There was food, drinks, everything. She even gave us takeaway packs to go home with. I was so excited. Such a loving woman. And yeah, that's what I had for dinner. The takeaway pack. The next day, Sunday, I went to church to give thanks. And the next day, I went to do my nails because now I can, be paying and things. I have about 2 weeks or 3 weeks holiday. So I'm using that time to plan my next release. I should be dropping my next song by March or April. I'm not certain yet. But see you on the next one.